Wholesale Network here. It's another video, steps to wholesaling real estate. Of course, your first step is going to be finding distressed and discounted properties. Alright, finding distressed and discounted properties, and this can be done a number of ways. Well, one of the biggest things is, since wholesaling is a business, just as of any business, you want to let everybody that you know, family, friends, colleagues, hell, even people you don't know at the gas station, hand them a business card. Let everybody know what you do so that they can send you leads also. You can find deals on Craigslist, you can find deals on Let Go, you can go driving for dollars, which means you're targeting specific neighborhoods. You're driving around, you can pretty much look and tell houses that are distressed, and the roof looks bad, the grass is super tall when all the houses around it still look pretty well. You can talk to neighbors. Mail carriers are a huge one. Guys that work for the electric company that are out in the field, guys that work for the water company that are out in the field. You can talk to a lot of different people to find distressed property, which you should be able to get at a discount. The second thing to wholesaling is you have to make sure the numbers work. You want to network with realtors, with some general contractors or some rehabbers in the area. All right, when you find this discounted property, in general, for houses, all right, keep in mind that every market is different. Some markets are super tight and the wholesalers were able to drive it up where people buy at a higher percentage. But the majority rule, or rule of thumb, is usually 70% of ARV, which is the after repaired value minus repairs. All right, so just to give you a general idea, say you find a house, you talk to the seller, and the seller, my father passed away, he left me this house, we've been paying the taxes on it for a couple of years, we just don't have the money to fix it up, and yes, we would actually love to sell it and get rid of it. All right, so before you go to look at that house, some of the realtors or a specific realtor that you've networked with, you can actually send the address, say, hey, can you pull comps on this for me? I know a lot of people don't like to use Zillow, but you can use Zillow and look up houses that have previously sold, and you want to do a price per square foot. So if you find on realtor.com, Realtor's a really good one, Zillow, Trulia, if you find 3 houses, all right, in that same neighborhood or really close to the same square foot that have recently sold, if it's 1,200 square foot and it sold for $150,000, all right, you can find that price per square foot. You want to do that for all 3 houses. Once you find your price per square foot, say you come up with $78, per square foot, and then one's at 80 and say one's at 92, all right, you can add all 3 of these together and then divide by 3, and that's going to give you an average price per square foot. All right, so you can find the average price per square foot for this particular house, and you can figure out, about what the ARV is going to be. It's a whole lot easier, guys. Instead of trying to go through all this and figure all this out, it's a lot easier to network with a couple realtors where you can shoot them the property and they can shoot you the physical comps back over in your email. All right, so back to here. If you have a house and say it gets sent back, and say this house is worth, all right, $100,000. All right, it's 70%. So your 100,000 times 0.70 is going to give you $70,000. All right, if this house needs, say, $20,000 in repairs, all right, here's another thing, guys. To find that repair cost, normally I try to average, just to get the numbers close, I try to be around $22 per square foot. I use that just as a general rule of thumb to even see if the property is going to work or not. But really, you want to network with a general contractor to where when you go to look at this property, you can have him walk the property and give you an accurate estimate on repairs. So say you come back with $20,000 in repairs, all right, that puts you at $50,000. So basically half the price of what it's worth. You know, say you need to put a roof on, you need to paint the inside, the HVAC unit's okay, and you need to put some flooring in. So you got 20,000 in repairs. Right now, you know you have to get it under contract for less than $50,000 to make an assignment on it. All right, so that's where you talk to this distressed seller who inherited the house. They can't afford to put this $20,000 in it to bring it up to marketable value. Nobody is going to buy that house for, say, $70,000 and put $20,000 in it and have $90,000 in this house to move into it. You know, people that are looking to buy houses, they want a house that they can move their stuff into right then. They don't want to have to do paint and flooring and put a roof on, you know, or they may not have the money to do it. So that's why, you know, most of your wholesales are being sold to cash buyers. All right, so this is your general rule of thumb, is ARV times 0.70, which is 70% of ARV, minus repairs, gives you your price that you need to be under. So say you negotiate and they want to sell you the house for $45,000. All right, so you're gonna get a contract on this house for $45,000. All right, you're going to sell that contract for $50,000, and you're gonna make a $5,000 assignment on that house. All right, so that comes to number 3, which is selling your contract. So when you sell your contract, what do you need? Of course, you need buyers. All right, where do you find these buyers? The buyers come from networking, from your local RIA. You know, you can find common Facebook places, you know, where these buyers are hanging out and they're looking for properties. But what I suggest, of course, is the Real Estate Wholesale Network. They drive buyers to that website, so you can take this property, all the pictures, the information, you can put it on your designated page, and buyers are going to be looking in that area. So when they find this, they're going to contact you, they're going to want to meet you at the property, and they're going to be interested in purchasing this property. You also have guys who are going to, you know, maybe buy and hold. They may even pay you a little more. They may pay you $53,000 for the house. So all kinds of ways to find buyers. I guess the general rule is if you have a good property under contract, it's easy to find a buyer, which it really is easy to find a buyer. And if you notice from the first video, you're wanting to create a win-win-win situation. During this wholesale process, you're wanting to find a good property for an assignment fee for you. You're wanting to find a good property for your buyer. And then you also are helping the seller either put money in their pocket or get out of a distressed situation that they're in. All right, so this is the basic steps to wholesaling. Finding distressed properties. It depends. If you have no money to start with, by far the easiest thing is driving for dollars. Go drive these neighborhoods. You can talk to the buyers. What areas do you buy in? What type of properties are you looking for? And that way you know your general target areas. I mean, you can't lose really with big cities. Usually in areas with high crime rate, there's still a few buyers there, not quite as many as there are in the nicer neighborhoods. So you want to find your distressed properties to pick them up at a discount. You want to get them, general rule of thumb, like I said, it's going to depend on what area you're in, but general rule is 70% of ARV minus repairs. Once you get it under contract, you want to sell that contract to your buyers. Now, once you find a buyer, all right, this is where the networking comes in. You need to find a good real estate attorney, or let me see here. Find you a good real estate attorney. I know some states use attorneys and some states use title companies. So find you a good title company or a good attorney. And what you are going to do, once you find this distressed property, you post it up and you find a buyer. All right, you're going to get this buyer to sign an assignment of contract for $50,000. You are going to take that assignment of contract and the original contract to your attorney or title company, along with your information, which is your email address, your phone number, your buyer's email address and your buyer's phone number, and the seller's email address and the seller's phone number. That way there's going to be nothing to slow them down. They've got everything they need to contact all three people. They're going to do a title search. They're going to make sure that there's no liens or encumbrances on the property, that may affect this price. That's one of the things that generally I ask the sellers, if they have any outstanding liens or mortgages or anything. That's kind of a 50-50. Of course, most all of them are going to tell you no. And then when you find something, they go, oh, I didn't know that was on there. Happens all the time, guys. You're going to run into so many different situations. It's unreal. But these are the general basic steps to wholesaling. You're going to find a distressed or discounted property. You're going to make sure the numbers work. All right. When you talk to your buyers, you want to, where do you buy? What are your buying parameters? What are you looking for? They're going to tell you, that they want to buy at 70%. They want to buy at 80%. They're going to say, if I can make $25,000, I'm happy. So now you pretty much know what your buyers are looking for, what they want. So when you find that house, the easiest thing, guys, I'm telling you, the easiest thing is the wholesale network. You get your own page, you get everything. You can list one house or you can list 500 houses in 50 different states. It doesn't matter. The easiest thing is get on the wholesale network, post your property, and then you can copy that link and send it to whoever you want. And then there's also thousands of buyers, steady looking on there to buy properties. I mean, you've got people, I mean, in each state. I mean, you got out-of-state buyers, you got in-state buyers. Once you start driving these buyers to your page, they're going to bookmark your page. When you get good properties, they're going to bookmark your page, and they're going to check it periodically, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a week, because they want those properties. So for $80 a month, I mean, that's what, $960 a year. I mean, you really can't beat that. Then you don't have to JV with somebody. You're not struggling looking for buyers. The buyers are actually looking at your stuff. So that's what I would suggest to sell the property. Then you're going to take your assignment of contract and the original contract. You're going to drop them off at either the attorney or the title company, whichever one your state uses. They're going to do a title search. Once the title search comes back good, they're going to contact the buyer and the seller. They're going to set up a closing date, which is generally 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how quick the buyer can come up with the money, but they usually use hard money or cash. Either way, they generally close pretty quick. And so you don't even have to attend the closing. You can send that attorney or that title company your bank information, your name, and your account and routing number. Once this closes, they'll wire the money straight to your account, so you don't even have to go. Or I do generally like to attend a few of the closings, so that way when I'm done, I can get with the seller, I can shake their hand and maybe do a little video with them and say, hey, did everything go the way you were expecting? What were things you liked and didn't like about it? So if there was anything they didn't like, they can tell you, and it's going to better you as a business professional. It's going to better you as a person, and it's going to help better your business. If they come back and say, everything was great, I loved it, you helped us out so much, you shoot a nice video of that. These are some people I helped, and that's great credibility for you and for your company. So these are the basic steps to wholesaling real estate.